What's up guys, DJ Dartbeat here, bringing you not a blaster review video today, but a review video on an item pack that is highly anticipated, that will be released in April and comes with the Nexus Pro X. So today we're going to be talking about the contents of this little DartZone Max box that happens to say Scar Barrel Pack. So let's open up this box and see what's inside. Alright guys, I'm excited about this. Let's open up this box and see what's inside. There we go. Alright, we have our standard Scar Barrel and our BCAR. Very nice. Stay. And the BCAR. Now I know there's been talk about metal bearings or plastic bearings. These are metal. So the one that you can buy separately is metal. I don't know if that's going to be the same deal with the Nexus Pro in April, but we shall see. Okay, so we have our standard Scar and our BCAR. Very nice. Man, this thing is very, very, very well constructed and solid. This is the most solid Scar Barrel I've ever felt. I mean, it's definitely a thick material. This is nice. This is the nicest in terms of build quality Scar I've ever seen. Let's see how it fits the dart. Okay, we got a standard elite dart here, and that is a nice snug fit. And it does give it a nice little twist. So I mean, you can't really see it on camera, but as I push it in, the dart is giving it a little twist. Okay, that is the Scar. Now this is an out of darts Scar. This is their Scar, and I will say that the fit on the DartZone Scar is actually tighter than on the out of darts Scar. So I really like the out of darts Scar. It works well. This one definitely is a snugger fit, so it might really work well. Okay, let's see the BCAR. That gives it a look at that. I don't know if you can see it. That's why I picked this dart, because it has a pattern. But if you can see how that dart is turning as I tie, yeah, that gives it a nice rotation. So that is very nice. So again, it's hard to see on camera, but the elite is here. As I'm tapping it, the elite is turning. So yeah, very nice. Now, these come with a little trick. You can put this friction fit inside your Nexus Pro, inside your Max Stryker, inside your X-Shot long shot. But if you take off this piece here, and I think that's it. Now it goes over barrel. So I have a barrel here, just, and boom, now you can put it over your barrel. So it's compatible with a lot of different things. And your Scar, same thing. Boom, over barrel, good to go. Very nice. Alright, so I'm gonna get the help of my good friends Max Stryker and Nexus Pro, and we are gonna do some tests just to play around with these a little bit and see what they are all about, if the groupings are any tighter, if the FPS has really changed, because this is a very snug fit, so I'm assuming it is going to drop the FPS. So let's get into it. Let's grab our good tried and true friends Stryker and Nexus and have them assist us with the rest of this video. Stick with me. Okay guys, so I got my good friend Stryker here and his buddy Nexus, and they are ready to assist in the rest of this video. Now the Nexus I am going to have in a stock configuration and a friction fit. This is going to be the friction fit. The Stryker has an upgraded spring, barrel, and some beefed up internals. So this is going to be the upgraded version over the barrel. So I have two blasters here that can accommodate these barrel attachments in both configurations. This way we can see what the difference is, if any. So first we got to get a baseline on these two blasters. I'll break out the chronograph. We'll get some baseline numbers, see what they're shooting prior to putting on the barrels, and then we'll see what they are after. Then we're going to take them outside and we're going to get some accuracy numbers and see how different the groupings are, if different at all. Plus I have, this is a worker scar, and I have the added dart scar. And I don't know how in depth I'm going to go, but we might compare everything. But these scar barrels are the best bang for the buck currently, but I think they might be dethroned in a few minutes. So we're going to see, and let's have some fun today. I've been excited to get these things, so I'm really curious to see what they're going to do, especially a BCAR for under $20, and it looks good, and you can use it as a friction fit or over the barrel. I mean, it's versatile, it's awesome, and DartZone has done it again with their price point. I don't know how they do it, I don't know how they make any money, but thank you. All right, so let's go to the chronograph now. Let's get some baseline numbers, and let's get down to business. Let's have some fun today, guys. Stick with me. All right, guys, here we go. Stock Nexus Pro short darts. Let's get it. 147.6. 144.6. 165.6. 152.1. 130.2. 164. Okay, so we have a 6-shot average, high 165, low 130, average 150. So the average on the short dart Nexus Pro is 150.6. That is our baseline for the short darts on the Nexus Pro. Let's switch over to the Stryker and see what that one does with the barrel and the upgraded spring. Okay, guys, here we go. Max Stryker, numbers are reset, barrel, spring. 187.6, 172.5, 221.4, 190.2, 215.4, 209.5. All right, so our 6-shot average is 199.4 with the Max Stryker barrel and spring. All right, so now let's see what the difference is with the scar barrel on. We will start with the Nexus. All right, guys, first up, the Nexus Pro. So friction fit, the way this barrel is situated, it's got a little bit bigger on the one side. That's to go over barrel, or the friction fit, you just put it in like this. And that is a tight friction fit. It is not going anywhere, I will tell you that. It's not going anywhere. All right, so let's see what we get. All right, so here we go. Nexus Pro with the scar barrel, short darts, baseline 150, 144.9, 114.1, 138, 128.5, 121, 125.9. Was that 6? I think that was 6. All right, so we are talking max of 144, min 114, and the average is 128.7. So it did take a bit off, but this was a snug fit. I want to take a few more shots just to confirm. 143.6, 137.4, 142.6, 126.6, 129.8, 116. So our 12 dart average brings it up to about 130. So there's about a 20 FPS drop off in terms of the average, but you are still hitting upwards of 145 with the scar barrel on. So it is negligible, and the accuracy that we should get out of this is definitely worth the trade-off. All right, so now let's go to the BCAR and see what the difference is. All right, very nice. Now, next up, the BCAR. That looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. All right, let's see what we get. Okay, guys, here we go. BCAR is installed. We are loaded up, ready to go. Short darts. Let me just reset the numbers here. And let's get down to business. Here we go. 107.2. Ah, that hit me in the face. 142. 151.8. 150.5. 122.3. 121.6. 154.4. 162.3. 130.5. 164. 159. 151.2. All right, so that gives us a 12-shot average of 143. High of 164, low of 107, and one pelted me right in the cheek. Man, always wear eye protection. That almost got me in the eye. All right, so not bad at all. All right, guys, so BCAR, not too bad at all. Very nice indeed. The drop in FPS was negligible. There is a wide fluctuation between the FPS, but that is common. These things shoot around 150. You know, the FPS gets around 150, and with the BCAR, it was still hitting around 150. We had a high of 164. So it really didn't affect it too much. So if the accuracy is improved with this, man, you got a pop-in, you know, addition to your stock blaster that is going to give you better accuracy right out of the gate. That's great. So now you go spend $50 on the blaster, $20 on the kit, and $20 under $100, you are ready to rock and roll. Oh, I forgot to mention that I am using DartZone darts for the entirety of this test. I have not switched. I am using the DartZone darts, short darts. So to keep everything on par, fair, I didn't want the video to go 6 hours long, so I didn't want to test all the other different kinds of darts as well. We're just going to stick with the DartZone darts for this test. All right, let's get to the Stryker now and see how she does. Okay, next contender in the competition is the upgraded Max Stryker. All right, so over barrel, use the other end, and just like that, you are good to go. All right, so let's see what this one does. We were starting with a baseline of 199, so let's go from there. Max Stryker loaded up with the SCAR barrel, ready to go. Here we go. Baseline was 200, 199 to be exact. 178.4, 129.5, 198.7. 198.7 again. So 71 point, that didn't sound good. 146.9. 213.2. 195.4. 209.5. 216.1. 212.8, 191.2. All right, so our 12 dart average is 180.1, but that's because you know, it should be much higher. I don't know. It sounded like I got a really poor air seal on that one shot, but as you can see with the upgrade, you know, when you got a more powerful spring and more compression with the barrel, it definitely does not give you much of a drop off in terms of the performance in the FPS. So now let's switch over to the BCAR and see what that does. Whee! All right, so next up we are going to the BCAR. So we have to take out the attachment, and then this just goes over like so. And again, very, very cool. All right, let's get the numbers, guys. Here we go. BCAR, ready to go. Max Stryker, let's get it. 212.5, 229.9, 227.9, 169.5, 227.3, 189.2, 227.9, 171.5, 234.1, 226.3, 233, and 225.3. So that gives us a 12 dart average of 214.5. That was actually higher than the control, but no drop off at all with the BCAR on the upgraded Max Stryker. Alright guys, so wow, not too bad. They performed perfectly, but FPS is only a part of the battle. These SCAR barrels and BCARs are all about accuracy. So now we know they don't affect the performance too much, but do they help with the accuracy? That's what we're here to find out. So now it's time for the fun part. I have magazines loaded. I put an optic on so that I can hit or aim for the exact same spot every time and see what the grouping is. I am not going to adjust my aim to try and better my shot. I am going to pick a spot and continue to fire at that one spot to see what the grouping is of the darts to get a fair comparison. Again, we are using brand new DartZone Max darts to, again, try and keep this as controlled as possible. And we will be doing the same test with the stock Nexus and the upgraded Stryker. So let's go outside now and start ripping through some of these magazines. Alright guys, so we're all loaded up 50 feet away. Again, I'm using the optic to make sure I get the best possible outcome and most consistent outcome for each grouping. Alright, so first, stock Nexus Pro with SCAR barrel. So obviously I don't have to zero it in right. Everything was shooting a touch to the left, but that grouping was absolutely perfect in terms of where everything ended up. That couldn't have been more than a 6-inch to maybe 12-inch grouping. So now let's switch over to the BCAR and see how that does. All right guys, BCAR loaded up, ready to go. Here we go. Go. It doesn't get any better than that, guys. The grouping is so tight. All right, so performance awesome, accuracy awesome. So far so good. All right, let me switch over to the Stryker now and see how that does. All right guys, it is Max Stryker time. Again, optic attached, short darts, SCAR barrel. Here we go. Very, very nice grouping. Okay, now we're going to switch over to BCAR and go from there. Okay guys, got the BCAR installed now. Let's see how we do. Here we go, guys. Alright, let's take it inside and talk about this now. Alright guys, so that was fun. As you can see, they work. They work well. Now, from my testing, and this has been debated through the community for a while now in terms of BCARs. Some people say that BCARs do not work well with the higher FPS. And the Stryker, you know, is a 200 FPS, more or less, you know, blaster that I have set up. So it does hit higher, as you can see with the chronograph testing from earlier. It does hit into the 220s, 230s at times, but it's more or less a 200 FPS blaster. Now, when I was testing outside, the SCAR barrel worked great. It kept the grouping a little bit tighter. When I did put the BCAR on, they were it was still a tighter grouping. I mean, it's still better than what you get from mostly anything, but with the BCAR, the grouping I think was a little wider than it was with the regular SCAR barrel, I'm sorry. Now, with the Nexus Pro, a stock blaster, well, like I said, all I did was put the optic on so I could hold the dot on the same target each time to be consistent so I could see the grouping. This thing was shooting laser beams with both. The BCAR and the SCAR, the grouping was very tight. With the SCAR barrel, I didn't have this zeroed in again. I didn't zero in the sight. I just had the dot where I could put it on one point and keep it there. Everything was a little bit left of where I was aiming, so that could be the sight not lined. But when I had the SCAR barrel in here, I don't know if it's just something with my blaster, it looked like it was off a little bit to the left. It might have been I didn't have it pushed in all the way or something. It was still shooting beautiful. The grouping was as tight as can be. That was the easiest dart cleanup I've ever had to do. Every dart was within a 2 or 3 foot circle. It was beautiful. I didn't even have to go outside of that radius to pick up a dart. That was great. So, SCAR barrel worked great, BCAR worked great. I really gotta dig into the footage a little bit to see which one did better, but I'll leave that up to you guys. But in terms of the grouping, they were both very, very tight groupings, so they do work well. I don't want this video to go 6 hours long, so I don't want to bore you guys with testing all the other SCAR barrels. If that is something you want to see, please let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to do it. I will compare each one of these SCAR barrels that I have just to see. Again, this is Out of Dart's SCAR barrel. This is the Out of Dart's. You can get this from Out of Dart's website. This is the Invictus SCAR barrel, I believe it's called. And it's another friction fit. They have 2 different styles and you just pop it in. And that was the SCAR barrel that I was using with this blaster. And then you have the tried and true worker SCAR barrel. I use this barrel on a lot. It's very good and it does the job, and it's fairly cheap. I think it's $7, $10, I don't know, but it's fairly cheap, and this is my go-to for most builds just because of what it is. Now, I will say this, the first time I put this in, I didn't show you on camera, I could not get it out. It was in there so tight that it took me about 5 minutes to get it out, and I was afraid I was going to break the SCAR barrel or my blaster. But I will say this is so well built. You could probably run over this with your car and it is not going to break. This is the most solid piece of plastic I have ever seen. Compared to anything else, I could flex most of the other ones with my hand. This thing is crazy thick. And it's not too thick, it's just solid. It's not that it's super thick and bulky, it is just solid. I will say that. SCAR barrel, I mean the BCAR, It does have the metal rollers, metal bearings, and it's nice. It worked well. As far as dart fit, it you know, it's you can't see it on camera, but I could feel the bearings twisting the dart as I'm pushing it in. I could feel it twisting. So it does its job. It does got a snug fit. The SCAR barrel has a very snug fit. This is very, very snug. Okay, as opposed to this one is not. It's a snug fit as well. This is not quite as snug as the DartZone, but it's very snug. The worker, again, I don't think it's quite as snug as the DartZone, but very snug as well. Yeah, this one is tight. This is just a tight fit. So these two are great. The out of darts SCAR is probably the least snug of them all. Yeah, out of the four, this one is probably the least out of them all, and it really is not doing much to the dart. So out of the four, I would definitely put the DartZone first, and then rank the other two right behind it. BCAR, you can't find a BCAR for this price. Not to mention, buy the BCAR for $20, get a free SCAR. So I don't know how they're doing it for $20, but my recommendation is go buy them, as many as you can afford, before they realize that they're selling these too cheap and jack up the price. Because that is a great price for what you get in this little box. And I used a 10% off coupon that I got for something, and I think it was $17. It was under $20, which it was free shipping, and I got it in a day or 2 days or whatever. It's amazing. So, guys, I highly recommend it. It looks real cool on the blaster. It's definitely a great look, and for a stock Nexus or a stock Stryker, either one of these is going to work great. I'm going to require a lot more testing to see with the Stryker to see about the BCAR SCAR debate. That I cannot answer with just the limited testing I have done so far. But I am going to do a lot more testing, and I will keep you guys updated on that to see what my findings are. But the fact that you can actually put these over barrel or friction fit, it is fantastic. That is a great, great feature. I mean, I can do the same with the worker. I can get that over barrel. This is usually the SCAR that I was using over barrel. These are meant to friction fit in the other barrels, but you can get them over barrel as well. So they do the same kind of thing. But as far as the BCAR, I don't know. I don't have too much experience with the BCARs just yet. I'm just getting into it. So I don't know if any other BCARs do this, but this is a great feature to have this be able to go over barrel on a mod or friction fit as well. So guys, I just wanted to give you a little first look into what these things are, and I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, please give me a like or subscribe down below. Help the channel grow. Let me know you appreciate the video. And again, in the comments below, if you want to see some more testing, I was going to get into some full length darts, but again, I didn't want the video to go 4 hours long. So if you want to see something else, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to film a little more testing. But I am going to put these through a lot more tests to see what's going on. But so far, thumbs up. It's a definite buy in my book for sure. For the price and what you get, man, there is nothing out there that's going to beat it. You're getting a BCAR and a SCAR for 20 bucks. DartZone, good job. Stick with the cool stuff you got coming out this year. Now again, this has metal rollers. That puts that to bed. But people are talking about the Nexus Pro X is going to have plastic rollers. That we can't confirm until we get a Nexus Pro X. So for now, the ones you buy for $20, metal rollers, that's confirmed. All right? So guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.